No, seriously, why aren't you playing this game yet? Oh, you want more information? Alright, I'll give you information. This is Fortnite. The main game is something base building zombie defense. Who gives a shit? The real star of the show is the free Battle Royale mode. Yes, you heard it right, it's free. Like, seriously, just download it whilst you're watching this video. There's literally nothing to lose. Now, some people say this game is very similar to PUBG, and they're right. You start off the game by parachuting from a bus suspended from a hot air balloon. The map has a decent size to it, but it isn't really gigantic. There's no vehicles for you to use, so you can just traverse the whole map on foot without a problem. The map is very varied with valleys, lakes, rivers, mountains, buildings, and all these different areas and assets have randomized loot, which can be different weapons like pistols, revolvers, shotguns, SMGs, rifles, snipers, goddamn RPGs. You can find potions that will give you armor, and you can find even bandages, grenades, and just a lot of stuff that's going to be useful in killing the other players. The weapons have different grades of rarity and quality. Your base white weapons are the most common and crappy, with extremely rare golden weapons having the best stats. There are rare golden loot boxes hidden around the map, which give off a distinctive sound when you're near them, and you can generally find them in attics or basements or just interesting places that are kind of hard to get to. You might even have to break down a wall or something to get to those loot boxes, but they give you a chance at higher and rarer loot. The art style is very cartoony, the map is very colorful, everything just looks like very cartoony, which actually does fit well with the rather arcadey gameplay, as well as giving the game a nice look, whilst still being very smooth running. I have no problem reaching 60 FPS on just maximum settings. Your health is based on hit points, and you can see how much damage you do when you hit the enemy. If the hit splat is white, you're hitting health damage. If the hit splat is blue, you're hitting armor. And the one thing that really sets this thing apart from PUBG is the building system. I've mentioned before that you could tear down walls and stuff like that. In fact, mostly everything on the map is destructible. You can tear down houses, you can tear down trees, you can blow up rocks, you can tear down metal sheds, you can tear down enemy bases, and this will all give you resources. With these resources, you can build ramps, bridges, and fortifications. Now do keep in mind that enemy players can destroy your stuff, and especially if you're building bridges like that are only held down on one point. If they shoot that bridge, the whole thing is going to be crumbling down and you're going to fall to your death. Which is why you should generally try and be very quick about it, or use higher grade materials which have more hit points. But just talking about the game isn't enough. No. Instead, let me show you a full game from start to finish. In fact, one of the first few games that I've ever played, and I'll show you some of the tricks I've learned and how to survive until the end. Hello you sexy beasts, and welcome to Fortnite. And there we are. As you can see, the map is not too big. Now there is a danger death zone system in the game, which you're going to see later on. I tend to spawn, or at least try to land either towards the middle of the map or towards the outskirts. Generally, the outskirts have decent loot, not the best, although sometimes you can get lucky and get some absolutely awesome loot. But the outskirts tend to also have less people, which is very useful when you are starting out in the game fresh and new. But I want to try my luck and go towards the middle. This specific spot here, this mountain that's by this lakeside, is one that I really like. The shed that I'm landing on generally has some loot. If this doesn't have loot, the ruined building up top has some loot, and if that doesn't have some loot, the shed just besides that has generally some loot. I pick up a bandage and some machine guns, and I see a guy behind me. Now, towards the start of the game, it is generally very useful to start picking off some people. That guy does not have any weapons, he only has that base pickaxe, as he wasn't able to get any loot just yet. I use my machine gun, it doesn't do the best of damage, only about 10 damage per shot. It doesn't have much ammo either. And I finished off the guy with a pickaxe, but now I'm in kind of a trouble. The other guy has landed in this ruined building over here, and this generally has a lot of loot. There are about 2 to 3 different loot spawn points in this building, which means that they probably have weapons. And I don't have much ammunition. With 10 damage per shot, given that they have 100 health, if they are not using any kind of shield, Unless I have my aim perfectly and hit every single bullet, I'm not going to kill this guy. So I'm going to be holding back. You can hear the footsteps of the enemy pretty well, especially if they are moving at full speed and running. What I'm doing right now is crouching and moving very, very slowly as to not give my position away. They have no idea I'm here. Thankfully, they must have heard the shots on the top of the mountain, but they have not heard the footsteps or not even seen me going down here. Now, the guy did leave a loot box over here. These are generally a little bit more hidden, and thankfully it does have some ammo for my machine gun, which allows me to fill up the clip. This should be enough to kill one person. There's some fire on the sides. The guy has killed another one. Allow him to shot, go for a headshot, 25 damage. Trying to do some damage, but they do get away, and I do not have much ammo left. However, they have left some shotguns. Go for the green semi-auto shotgun, do some damage at long range, not quite enough though, they are jumping around. Ooh, I'm taking some fire as well, they have a rifle. They have a rifle, not good, I'm running out of ammo, I'm panicking and spray them down, god damn it, shot! Alright. I might have nearly died there, but that was fully planned, don't worry. I did totally not panic there. Alright, and good thing that I killed this guy, because he has dropped a lot of loot actually. And yes, I'm going to say he, just in general, because rule number one of the internet, everyone on the internet, there are no girls on the internet. Anyways, they did drop a rifle but not much ammunition. All the ammunition that the rifle had, they have expanded into my body. And I only have 15 health left, and there's another one in front of me, which isn't great. I'm pretty much a one-shot kill at this point. Now, I did pick up some bandages before, and I did pick up some more bandages from the bodies that I looted. I'm so far on 2 kills already. Although, not really by my own choice, I tend to try and avoid combat as much as I can, since you don't get anything for killing people, really. The objective of the game is to be the last man standing, not to be the man with the most kills. You can hit 50 kills. If you get killed before being the last guy, well, you still die and you lose the game. I was almost certain this guy would have seen me, but they didn't. Ooh, what's that? Oh, yes, 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 this game is set. That is a blue rarity that is slightly higher than the green rarities, and it's a semi-auto rifle. Now, some people don't really like the semi-auto rifle, and I can understand why. This isn't really single-shot semi-auto. This fires in a 3-round burst. It is not fully automatic, however, which makes it more or less useless in close ranges. However, this thing has some major advantages. Namely, the muzzle velocity and the accuracy. The 3-round burst isn't perfectly accurate, but this actually helps out because it's kind of like a long-range shotgun, if that makes any sense. The rate of fire in the burst is very, very quick, and if you got your aim down, you can get all 3 bullets into the enemy at once. And given that they do over 33 damage per bullet, you can literally one-burst people with this weapon if you hit every single shot, even at long range. There's no damage drop-off over range, if I'm not mistaken. And I just love this gun so damn much. In fact, most of the time, even if I find a higher rarity automatic rifle, I still prefer to take down even the white rarity semi-auto rifles, just because they're that good. There are some caveats, however. Given that they fire in a 3-round bursts, you do use a lot of ammo compared to firing single shots with the automatic rifles, for example. And as such, it's not really a useful gun when you don't have enough ammo, but thankfully, they did drop enough ammo. I have 30 rounds in the gun, in the magazine, and another 20 in reserve, and this should be just enough to take down any kind of position. Now I saw the white line on the top right corner on the mini-map. Ooh, what is that? Did you see that white line down there? That is a player running at full speed. And I'm guessing this is a good as point as any to talk about the movement mechanics. You cannot go prone in this game, but you can go, well, fully up and in crouch. And you can run or you can walk. Ooh, shield potion, awesome. This is going to give me a shield, let's just quickly down that. Now, when you run at full speed, you are visible from very far away, because there's this particle effect that you saw down there. That white line, that white trail that was following the player, that's dust being kicked up by you running like a madman. So what I do instead is crouch walk. Now, crouch, actually called crouch run, you can still run whilst crouching. It is not quite as fast as running at full speed. However, it is also much more stealthy. You don't leave a dust trail behind you. You do leave some smaller dust clouds when you start the run or you stop the run, but you're still going to be much more stealthy than whoever is running at full speed. Now at this point I don't really need to move. I'm well within the white circle, which indicates the next safe zone. Much like PUBG, you have two different kinds of circles. You have the white circle, which indicates where the death zone will stop when it counts down, and you have the blue circle, which indicates where the barrier is. If you're outside of the barrier, you take health damage. Even if you have armor, the armor doesn't count for anything, it takes the damage directly from your health, and the intensity of the damage increases as the game progresses. Where towards the first zones you might only take 1 damage per second, towards the end you take 3, 4, and it can be very devastating. You do not want to be out of the zone towards the end of the game. And as such I don't really need to move from here. These pines over here provide great cover, I have a great visual over the valley. But now I do need to move, however. God damn it. Sometimes you do really have unlucky streaks. It's not the first game that I've had where I spawned on one corner of the map and the zone just kept on creeping to the completely other side of the map, leaving me outside of it most of the time. I even have a clip where I just had the most amazing luck finding 2 golden guns, 1 scar, and a bolt-action rifle, I believe, which is extremely rare. But then I got screwed by the zoning of the map, which led to me dying eventually because I simply didn't have enough health. Now I am kind of worried about the guy that was behind me, the guy you saw running down in the river. I saw something in the river down below, I was not sure if it was weed sticking out through the water, or if it was loot from someone having died there. But in any case, they will have to move towards this direction as well, which is not good for me. Because if they do, they're going to be behind me, as I am behind of that guy. And once again, a guy running at full speed just completely giving his position away. He doesn't need to be running at full speed. Now, you saw that I did not take the shot there. Honestly, there is no point. I'm well on ammo, I'm well on supplies right now. I honestly don't need to hunt this guy down to kill him, for gear at least. And the only thing I'm going to be doing by shooting at him is giving my position away and wasting my ammo. I don't know what kind of loot this guy is going to have, I don't know anything about him, and as such, I'm actually going to let this guy live, because if he's in front of me, chances are he's going to run into enemies before I am, and he's essentially going to be my meat shield. So instead I go around, there's about 39 seconds left on the zone starting to go down. I still have about 50 plus 70. Oh god! Oh! Ow! Yeah. I did have 75 health and 50 shields. Now I have 20. That was a bolt action rifle. Those things do a lot of damage. 105 damage in one shot. To the body. They actually do much more to the head. That and the shotguns at very close ranges are the only weapons in the game that can one-shot you from full health if you don't have armor. Thankfully, it was really a miracle, I did find a potion of armor in the shed early on, because else I would be dead. I would just be dead right now. Now I do not know where this guy is, but I can't really stay. The zone is closing in. I have no idea where the sniper is, so I'm just going to zigzag around, use the speed. The snipers do have a massive disadvantage. They're only really effective against enemies that are either standing still or moving in a straight line towards or away from you, because they have extremely low muzzle velocity, which makes it extremely hard to actually lead your targets. So as long as you're zigzagging around, the chances are you're not going to get hit by a sniper that's firing at you. That being said, you still have to watch out. Now the zoning is just past the fatal field. I do have to cross this farm over here, and this is not really a good situation. They're called fatal fields for a reason. There's lots of hidden places where the enemy can hide, and generally lots of loot as well, which attracts a lot of people. This is one of the zones you definitely do not want to go to at the start of the match, simply because you're going to get shot at guaranteedly and just lose all of your health. So I try to sneak around the farm. try to use the elevation changes of the map to just make sure that I don't get spotted. I do not want to get spotted. I don't want to get spotted by the sniper that shot me from the side. I don't want to get spotted by the guy that was in front of me who I let live earlier on. I just want to be left alone. The trick to this game really is don't kill people unless you really need to. Thankfully the storm stops just behind my cover, giving me actually some cover here. This is good. I'm actually going to wait out here just a little bit to see if I can spot the sniper that was firing from the side. But the point of this game really isn't to kill as many people as you can. It really isn't. If you can at all avoid the fights, do avoid the fights. Unless they are an easy kill, unless you're 100% sure that you can kill them, or unless you need the supplies. Say you only have a shotgun, for example, and you need some rifle and you see a guy in front of you, then sure, kill them, get their loot. You're going to get every single piece of loot that the enemy has carrying on them if you kill them. But be prepared to lose health, be prepared to even lose the fight if you're unlucky, and be prepared to give your position away to everyone within a 500 meter vicinity. Gunfire is loud, very loud. Now earlier on talked about some of the loot boxes in this game, and indeed you can see one up there, but I didn't quite notice that it was opened already. From afar it looked like it was not opened, and here I'm using the building system. I did gather some wood from the buildings and the trees earlier on, which allows me to build ramps and just basic floors, just basic structures really, which is something you really need to learn if you want to really maximize your potential on Fortnite. For example, these randomized loot boxes, you can't reach them unless you build ramps. There are some loot boxes in the attics of houses, for example, which you can't also reach unless you paradrop onto the roof or you build a ramp to get up there. And they're generally very useful. You can use them to go up mountains very, very quickly indeed. You can even run while you're building the ramps. You can use them to cross valleys. It's just very, very useful to understand the system properly and to be able to use it properly. Now the zones are getting ever closer, and I see a guy in front of me that might even be the same guy from before. I am not completely sure. It doesn't mean that there isn't going to be any guys behind me. Remember, I have no idea where the sniper is. I still don't. There's still 7 players left in the game, myself included, so I have 6 enemies to deal with. And the zonings are getting ever so closer. So I sneak around, use elevation to make sure I don't get spotted. Look behind me and... oh, would you look at that? 4 bursts, not quite good enough. Didn't quite do enough damage to do a 3 burst or even a 1 burst. But well enough. The guy was hiding in the bush but he didn't get any shots in. And I did lose quite a bit of ammunition there. I'm trying to see if the guy has some rifle ammunition, but sadly he does not. Thankfully I still have enough ammo. As long as you have a full mag, you should be able to deal with any one enemy, maybe even 2, especially with the burst rifle given the damage output of this thing. But I need to find some cover, and soon. That fire has to have been heard by everyone in the map right now. All 5 players are still left alive in this game. Which means chances are one of them is going to be brave enough to go this direction and see if they can kill me whilst I'm looting something. And I want to avoid that. I see another guy towards the edge of the map, still frantically looking to my left. This is a wide open field and I do not like being here. The enemy can be hiding behind a hill and use the third person camera to just spot over the hill and see me and just take me out when I'm not paying attention. Much like I'm going to do with this guy. He has absolutely no idea I'm here. Once more, 4 bursts, take them down. Absolutely no chance for those guys. They didn't ever see me. They didn't ever see me. No reaction time there. Now, this bush isn't exactly the ideal hiding place. You can still see me, as you saw earlier on with the other guy I killed just before this one. But it's the best I'm going to get at this moment. I'm just outside of the safe zone just yet. The zone is closing in, but I do not want to go for the loot that guy dropped just yet. The loot is very visible and chances are someone has to have seen me kill that guy, or at least seen that guy die and seen the loot drop on the floor. So you generally want to avoid going for the loot directly. You can hear some gunfire on the other side. There's only 4 players left on the game right now, including me, so there's 3 enemies. And given that someone is shooting there, that means at least 2 enemies are over on that side, which means there's 1 left unaccounted for, but I will take the chances and I need some ammunition. So I go up front, loot the body that I just killed, and yes, they do have some ammo, and they have a purple rarity semi-auto shotgun. This is the 2nd best tier, if I'm not mistaken. Oh god! Where did that guy come from? That's where the fire came from. I actually nearly crapped my pants there. That guy did not see me. The other guy must have seen me, but given that he was shooting at 1 guy and probably was low on ammo on his rifle, and he saw me turning around, he just ran away as well. Killed the guy that was unaware of me, easy shots, just 2 bursts, take him down. The other guy somehow doesn't know where I am. He's finding the grenade launcher to see if he can kill me, thinking that I'm looting, but he doesn't see me in his bush. No, there's no point in me going for the shot. I cannot kill this guy right now. He has way too much time to go into cover, and there's really no point to give my position away and waste my ammo. So instead I wait for him to take cover, I quickly run over to the other guy and oh yes, thank god he has an armor potion. Alright, take the armor potion, quickly top up. I'm pretty sure the other guy is not going to go this way, he's afraid. He doesn't know where I am. He knows I'm in this area, but he doesn't know exactly where I am. He doesn't want to get shot at either. He could be hiding behind the hill, just below the crest of the hill, and using the 3rd-person camera to look at this area. But I need to get inside of the zone anyway, so I take my chances. I slowly walk over as to not make much noise, and I hide in the bush again. Next zone is just to my right. Alright, this is not too bad. This is not too bad. The next zoning in is going to happen in 1 minute 20. I am actually pretty good on supplies. I have plenty of ammo, I have a shield, I have plenty of health. I cannot heal past 75% with the bandages. By the way, you do need a med kit to heal up to 100%. There's someone building some structures on that hilltop, which means there's at least 1 person over there. Interesting indeed. It seems like they are actually hiding. What are they doing? Oh! That 75 hit splat was a headshot. 1 headshot fired, followed by 1 single hit. And they are down as well, which means there's only 2 players left in the game. Myself and the other guy, probably the guy that was shooting at the other guy earlier. Now, I take this opportunity to go up closer, go inside the safe zone. I'm pretty sure the last guy is going to be on top of that hill. Which gives me a... Yep, there he is. This gives me a complicated situation here. I cannot go around and use that other ramp to go up this hill and kill this guy. Also, given that they have the altitude advantage, well, they have the altitude advantage, like Obi-Wan Kenobi would say. They have the high ground. However, I know where they are. They do not know where I am. And this is where I'm going to use my ninja guerrilla tactics to the maximum extent. This is pretty much the best type of bush you can hide in. I think, can I go after this guy? Please don't see me. Oh, he's distracted. Take the rifle. Come on, and... boom! Double headshot for the game-winning kill. 8 kills. This was my 2nd ever win in this game. And honestly, my heart was just pounding at this point. I cannot tell you how much your heart starts beating during your first couple of games when you are in this clutch situation. Just 1 versus 1, just... oh god, the adrenaline is insane. It's addicting, really. It's... oh. So tell me, have I convinced you yet? Seriously, there's nothing else I can tell you to convince you to play this game. Honestly, I myself, originally I just installed this game to see if I even liked the Battle Royale style. I had been thinking about buying PUBG for a while now, but I didn't want to put the money down for it. And so I thought, hey, this is essentially a free-to-play version of PUBG, so let's play this, see if I like the game mode, and see if I buy PUBG. Well, I don't want to buy PUBG anymore, because I just like this too much. It's just an awesome game. And it's free. I've been spending way too many hours on this. Oh, god damn it. This is probably the point where I should mention I am not sponsored in any way. I have not gotten in contact with the studio. I just really like this game. And I just really wanted to show off this awesome game. Like, I can humble brag, okay? And with that, if you want to play Fortnite, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Again, not sponsored, just something I do of my own accord. There are different game modes as well, you don't have to play solo. There are duos now, so you can bring one friend, or you can even do a 4-man squad, which is probably better if you are starting out the game. In any case, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. My name is MikeGoesBoom, and thank you for watching.
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines, with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay, we can wait right here and play, until somehow you can find